Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to the meeting, the webinar. We'll start in a few minutes just to give everyone a bit more time to join and stuff. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar. As I mentioned before, we're just going to wait a few minutes and we can start at 1:35 just to make sure that people get on call. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the YYAS Application Advice webinar. My name is Eliberta Maujaya, and I am a YYAS alumna. I attended in August of this year. And I just wanted to give some advice to anyone who wanted to apply and on why you should apply. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick. So firstly, what is YYAS, right? Yale Young African Scholars is an academic enrichment and leadership program for outstanding secondary school students across Africa. In 2024, we had over 300 participants from 40 different African countries in both the online and residential programs. It aims to prepare young Africans for higher education opportunities globally while fostering leadership and critical skills. It exposes students to university-level academics and career exploration, introducing you to university admission and financial aid application processes, and inspiring students to be engaged leaders in their communities and facilitate a network of peers from across Africa. But why YYAS, right? So firstly, there are two programs so that anyone can access it easily. There's an online program and a residential leadership summit, which will be held in Kenya next year. And this year it was in Zimbabwe. It exposes us to world-class resources and mentors, prepares us for international college applications, and builds lasting connections with like-minded peers across Africa. You'll get to learn from a lot of people's experiences and just share your experience as well. It'll be a great way to connect with people and learn more about different cultures as well as the academics. There are different program components to make it engaging for everyone. There are seminars, which will be on your desired topics. You get to choose on whatever you're interested in. This year, one of our seminars was about um, sorry youth, the African youth boom, which was about how just currently Africa has one of the biggest populations of youth and how we can use that to our advantage to solve both global and African issues. Then there's career exploration. This is based on the choices that you make while applying. There's university guidance, which just helps you with the essay writing, the application process, and financial aid. Social impact, and that is designing something to be able to try to fix an issue which you identify either globally or in Africa, and you're given a topic for this. And then in family time, you just get to discuss what you learned throughout the day and understand it further, delve into it further to make sure that everyone knows what's happening and everyone is kept up to speed. And then there's post-program support. So after the YYAS program, the alumni get resources and other benefits that will help them while applying to university, right? And this is a online sample schedule, which is it'll vary depending on the year, but this is basically what happens throughout a day. So as you can see, the program is very much packed and a lot of things happen. And although there's not a lot of time for taking breaks and stuff, you can still connect with your peers and the fellow students that are going to be attending during the breaks, during the workshops, because everything is designed in such a way that it's interactive. This is a residential sample day, right? And usually in a day, you'll have lectures and seminars as well as workshops, and it is interactive. Like, of course, you'll be learning, but it is interactive. You get to participate as well and contribute your own opinions, your own thoughts. And during the breaks, you can just discuss it further, or you can just relax and chill with the other students there. And you can apply, you need to fill out the application requirements. You need to be eligible, which means that you need to be from the ages of 14 to 18 and currently studying in grade 10 or grade 11, obviously from an African country, right? And you need to be able to speak and communicate in English because the whole program is held in English. The application is submitted online and there is no application fee. You need your transcripts, which is your report cards from the secondary school, and one teacher recommendation. When you are asking for this recommendation, make sure that it's from a teacher that you know and a teacher that you're close with. So, for example, if you're in grade 10, you're not going to ask a teacher from grade 6 to help you with this recommendation since they don't know how you are now. This teacher needs to be able to talk about your character, your achievements, and just why you would be a good fit for YYAS. The deadlines, as you can see on the slides, are for early action it's already passed, but for regular decision it's the 20th of January. And don't rush your application. Make sure that you look over it. You look at all the achievements that you made sure you put them down, that you're able to include everything that you want to. If you rush your application, you won't be able to put your best character forward. And it will just increase your chances if you look over it carefully and make sure that you included everything that you can. The only tips that I can give you is honestly to be yourself, because the admissions people are wanting to get to know you. They don't just want to look at your academics or your extracurriculars. They want to know you and why you would be a good fit for the program. And also highlight your achievements. Don't try to diminish them. Don't try to be like, yeah, but it was just something small. Always try, like, be proud of yourself and always try to highlight what you have achieved. If you have any questions for them, you can email them to the email address of YYAS, which is african.scholars@yale.edu. Or you can also put the questions in the comments of the Gmeet, because at the end we will have a little Q&A session where I can answer any questions that you might want to clarify or something like that. And then YYAS is a sister program to YYGS, which is an academic summer enrichment program for outstanding high school students from around the world. Whereas YYAS is just for African students, YYGS is global. Each summer, students from over 150 countries participate in one of 4 interdisciplinary 2-week sessions at Yale. And this is different from YYAS because where YYAS is for preparing you for university and is a leadership program, YYGS gives you the experience of what it is like to study in university. It's more so of an academic program rather than a prep program. The 2025 summer offerings have 3 sessions from June 22nd to July 4th. The second session is from July 6th to July 18th, and the third from July 20th to August 1st. These are all residential. There is no online program for YYGS, unfortunately, but there are 4 academic tracks, and you can choose from innovations in science and technology, which is STEM-related topics. So if you're interested in things like biology, physics, chemistry, maths, this is the academic track for you. The second one is humanities, which is literature, philosophy, and culture. This is if you're interested in like literature and culture, if you want to learn more about that, if you're interested in how people think and why they think the way they do, then this is the track for you. There's solving global challenges, which is cross-disciplinary, and this is more so like the designing for impact, which is held at YYAS. And this is basically just a way for you to try to solve the global challenges, for you to learn the skills that you need to solve them. For example, if you're interested in climate change, but you don't know how to tackle the issue, then this will help you and give you the necessary tools that you need to be able to make a change. And lastly, but not least, we have politics, law, and economics, which is the social sciences. So if you're interested in any of these topics, then you should probably consider this one. The similarities between YYAS and YYGS are that there are no grades or course credit. They encourage students to approach all the aspects creatively and understanding them within their own limits. So everyone does it their own way. It is not paced. There is no work that you need to do, but obviously there's preparation material that will help you if you do it. But you're not graded on the work. You don't get any credits. It's just you will receive an electronic certificate of completion at the end of the sessions. They also have a diverse and inclusive community at both YYAS and YYGS, which enhances the learning by inviting students to analyze issues from multiple perspectives. Because all of these different people from different cultures will all be there, it will help you to just gain different perspectives and different angles of tackling an issue instead of just the one you would have if you didn't attend these programs. It also helps with learning alongside peers from around the world, which allows students to broaden their own worldviews by learning about countries and cultures they have never encountered before. And in both programs, you have direct access to Yale resources through opportunities across Yale virtual events. Although YYAS is not held at Yale, there are mentors that are students at Yale University, and they do help and give you the resources that you need whenever you need them. And this connects students to libraries, campus departments, faculty, undergrad and graduate students, and more. But there are some differences between YYAS and YYGS. YYAS is for African scholars. There's no application fee and no tuition costs. It is completely free for everyone to apply to. The eligibility requirements are for students who are 14 to 18 years old, that are in grade 10 or 11, and that are a citizen or permanent resident of African countries. The curriculum or the aim of the program is for college access and success, and there are 300 total students annually. It is held in Africa. This year it was held in Zimbabwe, and next year it will be held in Kenya. And annually, YYAS students represent over 39 different countries across Africa. Where YYGS is for global scholars. There is a $90 application fee. There are waivers available if you apply for financial aid, and there is a $6,500 full tuition fee. But there is financial aid available if you apply for it. The students that will be eligible are between 16 and 17 years old that are also in grade 10 or 11, and it's open to all countries around the world. Whereas YYAS focuses on college access and success, YYGS focuses on academic enrichment and just giving you the experience of what it is like to be a university student without the stress of grades or course credit. There are 1,800 total students annually, and annually, YYGS students represent over 150 different countries around the world, and it is held on the Yale campus. Now, why should you apply for both YYAS and YYGS? It increases your odds of admission. If you apply to two programs, you're more likely to get accepted into one of them. They're both competitive programs. YYAS receives over 3,000 applications for 300 spots, which is roughly 10% admission rate, and YYGS receives over 10,000 applications for 1,800 spots, which is roughly an 18% acceptance rate. Both programs have significant benefits. You gain perspectives from diverse groups of peers from all over the world. You can get access to resources at colleges and universities around the world, and you can find your voice and develop 21st century skills. Do you also gain experience from the application process? Even if you feel like you won't get in, it's always better to apply, because even if you actually don't get in, you gain from the application process. It will help you prepare for university and how you will be applying to university. It's great practice for college, university, and professional applications as well, and it connects you to a community of applicants around the world. There is also a user-friendly process, and it's easy to be considered for both the programs. The application deadlines are for January 10 if you're applying for YYGS, and you can get need-based financial aid. You will find that while applying, the tuition scholarships can go up to $6,500, which means that you wouldn't have to pay the tuition fee at all, but you do have to pay for your own travel costs. And there are application fee waivers, which YYGS tries to give out as much as they can. You can apply at globalscholars.yale.edu and email them at the YYGS email account. To apply for both these programs, the dual option only appears if you're eligible for both of them, which means that you're between 16 and 17 years old. In the YYAS application, if the applicant notes that their birth date that would be 16 to 18 years old on July 20, 2025, then the dual option appears, and if you opt yes, you will be considered for both YYAS and YYGS. You're provided with section selections and schedule preferences option, as well as access to the YYGS financial aid form. In the YYGS application, if an applicant notes a birth date where they would be between 14 and 18 years old by 1st August 2025, and that they are an African citizen, and they are attending a school in an African country, then the dual option appears, where they simply need to opt to be considered for YYGS and YYAS. But what would you even gain from the YYAS experience? There are workshops for uni applications, help with essay writing and financial aid. There are seminars as well, and critical thinking on global and African issues. It helps with college readiness sessions. There are lectures from professionals and others who would attend Yale University, and the family time really just helps you both connect and to learn more about others' experiences. The benefits would be personal growth, both in the academic and personal way. There's uni preparation, and even the application process itself will help you. If you attend any of these programs, you'll be able to network with peers from all around the world, and it will just give you exposure to different countries and the things that you would have not thought about if you didn't attend these programs. Many people have been impacted by these programs. For example, Audrey, she was a mentor at the YYAS Residential Summit this year, and she had attended YYAS previously as well, and currently studies at Yale University. Eldana is also one of the students that attended YYAS, and now she has been accepted to Princeton Early Action. And Kareem also attended YYAS, and he has been accepted to NYU Abu Dhabi. This is the poster for Yale Young African Scholars. It talks about most of the things that were discussed in the webinar today. You can find this on the YYAS page as well, which you would just have to access through Google. And it talks about the deadlines, the eligibility, the program components, which would be the academic seminars, the guest lectures from academic and industry professionals, and they will help. You can talk to them after the lectures, and they will help you just figure out what you want to do with your career and why you should go into that career if you want to. There's interactions with Yale students and sessions with university admissions representatives. There are engaging workshops and much more. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop presenting. 1 second. This is the website for Yale Young African Scholars. It just talks about them, their mission, their vision as well, the history of why it was started. If you want to find out more about YYAS, I definitely recommend that you check this website out. And then you find the admissions page where there are the program dates. There are also other webinars that you would need to attend. And the deadlines, the application eligibility, if you want to be a dual applicant as well. And then there is a student profile, which is what you should expect if you want to apply. This is what what a typical YYAS participant has, which would be an excellent academic record, demonstrated leadership potential, a strong written and verbal communication skill, a desire and ability to work cooperatively with peers, which is teamwork, high standards of personal and professional conduct, the ability to read, analyze, and reflect on large quantities of difficult material in English, and demonstrated maturity and interest in engaging discussions about intellectual, moral, and political issues, specifically in Africa. YYAS also primarily exists as a college access program and gives preference to high-achieving, low-income participants that don't have university guidance in their schools or in their communities. I would definitely recommend that you apply to any of these programs, even if you feel that you won't benefit from them or that you won't get in, because even the application process itself will help you. It's just, sorry, yeah, it's just genuinely a good way to be able to develop your skills. And then if you feel like you can't attend the program, it's still good to apply because you don't need to attend the program after you've applied. You can choose to accept or decline the admissions offer, and it is just a way to help you. If you have any questions, then you can write them in the comment section of this Gmeet, and I'll be happy to answer them. Here we have a question on what you can do to enter the speakers list if you get in. Well, in the program, they will give you an application, which would be for the media team, the speakers list, and also I think for, yeah, those are the two applications for the media team and the speakers list. And you'll just have to fill in the application and they will either accept you or not. And if you get accepted, you will have roughly 1 or 2 days to prepare. So it's better if you have your speech topic decided now so that if you do get in, it will be easier for you to prepare for it. So no, unfortunately, you can't apply if you finished high school because this program is specifically only for high school students. You would need to be in either grade 10 or grade 11. But there are other academic programs that you can apply to, even if you're not in high school. You would just need to research about them online. I don't necessarily know what your chances would be. The application process is holistic, so they don't just look at your academic grades, they look at you as a whole person in general. But in the student profile of YYAS, it does say that most of the students that get in have excellent academic records. But nothing's impossible. It's always good to apply. You would need to apply for financial aid during the application process for YYS to pay for your flight to Kenya. But for YYGS, they do not offer financial aid for travels. They only offer financial aid for the tuition. So, but they do help you with fundraising for that. But for YYS, you just need to get in contact with them and ask about the possibility of this happening. I really enjoyed the YYAS program, although it was rigorous and we woke up very early and slept late. It was still beneficial for me. The day-to-day dynamics, we just in the daily schedule we would have breakfast first, and then after that we would go to our lectures. And although they would teach us a lot of stuff, there was preparatory material before that. But even if you hadn't done it, you still were able to understand the lecture and what's going on, and it was very interactive. But if you didn't want to participate, you didn't have to. And overall, the experience, I feel like, to me, was beneficial because before I didn't know certain things that I had to do for applying to university. But now I can look more into those, for example, extracurriculars. I can look more into extracurriculars that will be beneficial for me and that will help show that I am dedicated to the field that I would like to study. And it just helped me to organize myself while applying. And as well, after the program, we still had contact with the mentors. So I have weekly meetings with some of the Yale mentors, and they help me write my essays and extracurriculars, and they just give you continuing support after the program. I don't know about any other programs because this is the only one that I've applied to, but I'm sure you can find some if you just like Google it. If you look for similar programs such as YYAS or YYGS, I'm sure you can find something online, and I'm sure that other universities would also offer certain programs like this. Yes, cell phones are allowed, and there is access to Wi-Fi at the program as well, at least for YYAS. You can use your cell phone, just try to avoid using it during the lectures No one will necessarily tell you to put it away, but it's just not respectful. So try to avoid that. And yeah, there's Wi-Fi access and everything. You can call your parents at night or yeah. The age restrictions is for YYA, sorry, um, for YYGS, you would need to buy a US number because the program takes place in the US. So you would be able to use your cell phone, but you would need to have a US number just to facilitate contact between the program and also contact with your parents. And to answer the age restriction question, yes, for YYS, you need to be between 14 and 18, and for YYGS, you need to be between 16 and 17. The reason grade 12s can't apply is because you apply in 1 year, but the program takes place the following year or later on during that year, which would mean that since they wouldn't be in high school anymore, they wouldn't be able to attend, and the programs are just specifically for high school students and for preparing them for applications. And grade 12s would have already applied, or they would be taking a gap year. It depends on the grade 12. There are no specific academic requirements. There is a holistic application process, so they don't just look at your academics. They look at you as a whole person, as an individual. They look at your essays, your extracurriculars, and all the other things that would be included in the application process. But having strong academics would help. Yes, you can apply to both YYAS and YYGS. There is a dual application option if you fit the eligibility requirements for both of them. And you would just need to select that in one of the applications, depending on which one you start with. So applications for YYAS close on the 20th of January, but applications for YYGS close on the 10th of January. Yes, they do supply transport from the airport to the school. You would need to select that while applying, though. There's an option for it, and you would just have to say why you would need transport or how you would get there if you don't need transport. So before we end this webinar, I just had some closing remarks about the programs. If you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments. But I just wanted to say that YYAS opens doors and opportunities to grow academically and personally that you would not have otherwise had if you didn't attend. You can apply to other programs as well. You don't have to necessarily accept if you get admitted. You have the option of rejecting that as well. But both of the programs they try to make them as accessible and impactful as possible. And there's a holistic application process. You don't need to be deterred because you think that you're not good enough. It's always better to apply because if you don't, you'll definitely not get in. But if you do apply, then there's a chance that you will get in. And if you want more information on the programs, you can just visit the websites. I'm not sure on which scale they would be like to be helpful, but it depends on the individuals. Some people may have already known the things that they were teaching, but specifically for HALI students, which is it's high achieving low income students. The programs I would say are a 10 because they can help you with like even putting them on your university application would make it stronger. And they also help you like applying and they give you tips and just help you as well as YYG as specifically prepares you for the academic rigor of university. If you have any more questions, you can visit the websites of YYAS and YYGS. If the answers to your questions are not listed there, you can get in contact with them through their emails, which are also listed on the websites. But I do think that they're closing their emails from December 19th to January for Christmas break. So if you have any questions, please do try to get them in today. And yeah, thank you for joining this webinar. I hope it was helpful, and I do hope that you will apply to the programs.